The first exercise of the FMS testing we are going to look at is the deep squats, and I automatically start off as a 2 because I am squatting on top of the board. And my knees are aligned over my feet, and the dowel is also over my feet when I go down. My femur goes below horizontal here as well. And my knees turn out a little bit at the bottom of the squats. It's kind of a bad line, but they turn out just a little bit. And then my back arches a little bit, which also causes me to lean forward. Not that much, but it's very slight. So I would give this squat a grade 2. Next, we are going to look at the hurdle step, and we'll look at my right foot first. And as I bring my leg up and move it over the bar, my knee moves outward, and then I go into like this grasshopper pose. My foot goes over and it touches the ground there. And my balance shifts a little, but I am mostly straight. My foot does not hit the rope, and it firmly plants on the other side. And because of that, I would grade this as a 2. Now we are going to look at the left leg hurdle, and I would grade this as a 1 because I lose my balance. It was an awful one. On the way back, I kind of lean forward to compensate for my loss of balance. And then my knee does that weird grasshopper thing again. So I would grade this as a 1. We are going to look at the incline lunge next, and we're going to look at the left foot in front of the right foot first, and I would grade this as a 2 because the dowel contact with my butt is not maintained, and I will show you that. So you can see when I go down, it comes out quite a lot. I also lean forward a little, but my feet stay in the sagittal plane, and my right knee touches the board, and it does not touch my left heel. So this would be a grade 2. We are now going to look at my right foot in front of my left foot, and my right hip pops out a little in this view, and my foot is shifted onto the lateral surface. You can kind of see that weird angle right there. But again, my knee does touch the ground and does not hit the heel in front of me, so I would grade this as a 2 as well. So next up is shoulder mobility, and my hand measurement was 7. So if I were to get a 3, I would have to get my hands within 7 inches of each other. I did not for my right hand over my left, and the lowest I received was an 11, so that makes it a 1 because it was not within a hand width and a half. So with me that would have been a 10.5, but here you can see that it was an 11. Right there, it was an 11. And then on the left hand over the right, I received a 2 because I got it within 10 inches. Right about there. So that was a 2. And then for this one, I did pass the clearing test, which involves bringing the inside of your elbow to your nose while keeping your head straight. So if the person you are testing can perform this action bilaterally with no pain, they can move on to the shoulder mobility test, which is what we just performed. So we are going to look at the active straight leg raise next, and I received a 1 on my right leg because my malleolus did not even cross the hip joint line. It did not go back far at all. That's about as far as it goes, so that is a big fat 1 right there. And then we can see the same with the left side. If we fast forward, there's April and Lauren laughing at me. So on this one, it's a little bit closer, but I still bend my knee, which may be from the tightness that I have in there, but I still get a 1 on that one because it did not pass that hip joint line. So the next test we are going to look at is a trunk stability push-up, and I received a 1 with this exercise because I started at my clavicles, or shoulders. Way down there, you could have either started at your chin or your shoulders, so I had to start at the shoulders. And then my back starts to move up before my butt does. You see that there, and then I push up. So this would classify me as a 1 because they are supposed to lift upward simultaneously. And then also, in order to perform this test, I would have to pass the spinal extension clearing test, which is like the seal stretch. And then if I had no pain, I could move on to this test. So the final test we're going to look at is the rotary stability, and I was unable to perform the unilateral repetition, so I was not able to perform the test correctly, so this would give me a grade 1. And then, since everything is wrong, we can see on this view a little bit that my knees leave the board over here. They should stay in contact. My back arches, and then I'd perform the rest of it. And then you can see the knee better on the angle from behind. You can see it here. There's my back arching again. So then also, in order to perform this action, I would have to pass the spinal flexion clearing test, which is equivalent to the downward dog stretch, and then if there was no pain with that, I would have received a 0. So with all these tests put together, I got a grand total of 8, and that is below the 14, so there would be some changes that would have to be made for me in order to function properly. But that's the FMS testing.